Hello, welcome to Fantasio Cinemas. Today I'm coming at you with a video that should have been released a long time ago, I'm sorry. So this video is actually for Obscurity, which I filmed a long time ago, released a while ago, and I should have gotten this out before, but basically I'm just going to tell you how I made it, what I used, everything like that, all the mistakes I made, and what I learned. Okay, so to start off, when we filmed Obscurity, we only had very limited equipment. We had a crappy $30 tripod, we had a camera-mounted shotgun mic, which we barely ever really used the audio from because there was no talking in the movie, and we used a Canon 70D, which I'm using right now, with a 18 to 135mm lens. And that's all we used to film the entire movie. And we didn't use any lights for the movie except for the one night scene in the movie, and that was only because it was dark and we needed to light it up. Go figure. Locations! For all of our locations, we weren't required to ask for permission for any of them, which was awesome, and those being the Blackwater Creek Trail, the tracks, the tunnel, the condemned buildings, my friend's house, the road in front of their house, my next door neighbor's house, my house, and good old Mickey D's. Props! So the props in this movie were probably one of the things that made it so fun to make due to the fact that we were able to use 2 cars, a smashable car door, $17,000 of fake money, a CO2 blowback pistol, cigarettes, a real tactical knife, 2 masks, and a bag of flour that, if it were cocaine, would have cost much more than 20 bucks. Practical effects! Probably the most impressive in-camera effect in the film was the car door ripping scene. And the way we did it was, you guessed it, we bought a $25 door and threw it on the ground, which was a lot of fun. As for the masks, many disappearances and reappearances in different places, all we did was we just had 2 identical masks, especially in this shot here where we threw the mask across the room, which would have been impossible in any other circumstance. As for this shot, we used a relatively easy technique, which is when the camera panned down and I was out of frame, I put the mask on the actor, and when it panned back up, it looked like it appeared there. As for this shot, I was actually just chilling under the table until the camera panned behind my actor, which was when I grabbed the second mask off the table and my actor was holding the other mask off frame, put it on his face, and then it appeared like the mask switched places by itself. The mirror shattering part was actually extremely simple because all it was my actor pretending to punch the glass and stopping before he hit it, and then I dropped pre-shattered glass on the floor next to his feet. We did, however, make the mistake of leaving the mirror in the shot later, but yeah, everyone noticed. You probably all did. I did. Not to change the subject or anything, but the next shot that was fun to make was the shot where the car stops really close to the guy. And that was actually really simple and a little bit dangerous because all we did was we just had the actor stand there and my brother slam on the brakes. But he was not going as fast as we made him out to be because the shot where it looked at him through the window was actually just the car sitting there and we made it appear like he was going faster. Stunts. Probably the biggest scene and the hardest to film was the fight scene at the end of the movie. Thankfully, my brother is really good with fight choreography, and so was the other actor, which is Seth Martin, the one with blonde hair, and he has a lot of skill with backflipping, front flipping, side flipping, all of that, and we were able to get a backflip in at the end of the scene. And also, we actually practiced that fight in just a couple of weeks, and it was only a few days a week, so I was very impressed at their progression in the fight in such a short time. For certain shots in the movie, obviously my actors would have gotten really hurt if we had done them for real, which is one of them where my brother threw the other actor onto the ground. That shot, we had a mattress off camera underneath him, which we just threw him down into. For the shots with a knife, they would have been really dangerous if we had been using the real tactical knife, so we used a rubber training knife for all the quick shots when they were fighting, and when the knife fell on the ground, for instance, we used the real one. When the knife was picked up, we used the real one. When he stabbed him, that was a very careful, slow stab with him with the real knife, which we added just to add extra realism to it, because if we had been using the training knife up close, it would have looked really bad. My screen's turned off. Alright, so I suppose that was all of the details of how we made the movie and what we used and all of that. Now for my not so favorite part. This is where I tell you all the mistakes I made in the movie, which you probably spotted yourself, but some of them you didn't, and some of them were just things I could have done better. Like, I opened the movie with an opening sequence, opening credits, which is something that I'm probably never going to do ever again, at least not make them so long. Because one of the things that makes people walk out of a movie or click to another video on YouTube is a long opening sequence that doesn't show them what they want to see. And Obscurity had that. It was kind of a long sequence. It looked kind of cool. It was cool for me, but I'm sure some people were like, alright, let's get on with the movie. So that's probably the first thing I did wrong. Another mistake I made, as you noticed, was when Seth smashes the mirror with his fist. It appears again later.
say something.
It kind of just shows up later. Another continuity error was Seth squatted down to look at the mask, and first his hood was up and then the next shot it was down, and then he puts it up again, and that was kind of a little mistake I should have watched out for. Another little mistake that I made, which wasn't as bad, was the camera focus searched a little bit because we used autofocus for most of the movie, and we used the FlexiZone autofocus servo on the Canon 70D, and in some of those shots it kind of fluctuated and it kind of searched, and some of them it actually looked kind of cool. This one here was kind of tolerable, but that wasn't exactly how I would have done it if we had have time to film another shot. In this one, this shot is one of my favorite shots. It actually kind of turned out cool that it was focus searching there, which was actually a mistake, but it turned out to be cool. Another little continuity error was during the fight, Seth was wearing fingerless gloves the whole time, and at the end of the fight, when he stabs in the chest, his gloves just kind of disappear, which is just a continuity error, which wasn't as bad. But now I'll get on to the actual filmmaking errors. Thank goodness we didn't have any jump cuts or anything like that, which would have been horrible. One of the things we did have, since we were low on equipment, was we were missing a reflector sheet, which was a big problem because my brother's eyebrows are kind of bushy, and in some of the shots, actually in a lot of them, especially in the sunny shots, you notice that his eyebrows are blocking out all the light on his eyes, and his eyes are just these pits of darkness and death. But yeah, we would have had a reflector to reflect some of the light up in his eyes so we could actually see his eyes, but we were low on equipment, so that's one of the things that we were never able to fix. The biggest problem with this movie that really gets me every time I watch it is the makeshift shot of the mask after it has been shot like 5 times. And the problem with the shot was I filmed that with a camera that was not my Canon 70D because I didn't have it at the time we were filming with my brothers. I had a Nikon D3300 with a lens without stability on it, and the shot ended up being unbearably shaky, and I have no idea why I put it in there. Another problem we had was we were short on equipment, so we didn't have a Steadicam. We only had a tripod that we could kind of pretend was a Steadicam, which didn't work so well, especially in this shot here where you can see the camera's moving all over the place. It's a great shot, but it's just really shaky. I heard from someone that it really made the movie more gritty and really gave it that feel, and I agreed a little bit, but I also wished I could have made the shots a little bit more stable, which is why I got this bad boy now, but I didn't have it then, so it was no good. Also, another thing that I'm not sure if you guys knew was that this movie was actually kind of a contest with myself. I decided to make the entire movie in a month, do everything in a month, and release it on Halloween. I didn't exactly release it on Halloween, I think I released it a day later, but I did finish the entire movie in almost a month. It was just a tiny bit over a month, and I was really happy with that. We were able to just film, and make it look really good with the very small amount of time we had. Well, I'm pretty sure that's everything I have to say about that movie. Still, I really like watching that movie, even though it's my movie and it's old. It's probably gonna be one of those classics that I've made that I just really enjoy seeing myself, which is actually not bragging because I was not the one who was fully in charge of the movie. I had a lot of help from my brother, from my friend Mel and Groots, who helped me write the script. I had a lot of help from my actors, which were great, and I can't take full credit for the movie, so I can still say I enjoy watching this movie. I'm pretty sure in a few years I'll still like the movie. I know I'll see the mistakes in it, but I really enjoy the story and I really enjoy the movie in itself. Thank you so much for watching, and if you could just in the comments tell me what you enjoyed about the movie, if you saw any mistakes and things that I could have done better, and anything about the movie, that would be awesome because that would help me in a lot of ways. But I guess I'll see you guys in the next video, which actually won't come for a while because I'm working on another movie, which is gonna be great. Ah, my screens! But yeah, watch out for that movie, and when it comes out, tell me how you liked it. And always remember, filmmaking is all about mistakes. Keep making them.